The weight loss industry makes billions each year and it keeps growing because women like you are desperate for the shortcut. The more confused you are, the more money you spend. The more complicated the solution is, the more you think, well, this must be the thing I've been missing. And truthfully, this makes me sad because good advice is always ignored, whilst the bad advice gets all of the attention. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 8 things that actually matter for weight loss, the boring stuff that actually works. And these tips will be straight to the point because you don't need more fluff, you need more clarity. So let's start with the one that most women get dramatically wrong, and it's to know how much you are consuming. Many women that come to me have no idea how much they are actually eating. They think they do because they eat healthfully, they cook great meals for the family, but the biscuits at the office add up, the handful of crisps whilst making dinner, the crust off your children's sandwiches, the glass of wine on a Tuesday night because it's been a long day. You know the drill. None of this feels like much, but over the course of the week, it's the difference between you being in a deficit and you being at maintenance, or worse, the scales going up. The thing is, what gets measured gets managed. I'm not saying that you need to track your calories forever, but if you're genuinely confused about why you're not losing weight, you need data, not guesswork. Track what you eat for 1 week, and I mean everything. The oil that you cook with, actually weigh out your pasta, not just think that you are having a portion. Track the bites, the licks, the sips, the nibbles. And then weigh yourself daily at the same time, not to obsess, but to notice the pattern. And you will know within a week whether you're in a deficit and you can keep going as you are, or whether you're at maintenance or in a surplus and you need to make changes. You'll have your answer in black and white, and then the key is to sustain the maximum amount of calories you can consume whilst losing weight. There is absolutely no reward for being able to force yourself to stick to 1200 calories if that then is making you binge eat every single evening or at the weekends. This is what makes it sustainable, this is what stops the binge cycle, and this is what makes the weight loss last. Point number 2 is to plan your meals so you're not scrambling at 6 p.m. Now imagine you're about to leave for a road trip. You probably wouldn't just get in the car and hope that you ended up somewhere pleasant. You check the route in advance, you would know where your destination is, you would make stops along the way. I would hope that you wouldn't wing it, yet most women wing their nutrition each and every day. You wake up and your heart is in the right place. You've got the intentions, I'm going to be good today. And then you find yourself picking, snacking, not having a meal that aligns with your goals, maybe getting a takeaway, and you're just feeling frustrated with yourself. Now here's what I've learned after coaching thousands of women at this point. Those who succeed don't just have infinite willpower. They have a plan, and it doesn't need to be complicated or boring. Seriously, just spend 10 minutes on a Sunday deciding what you are going to eat the week ahead. Monday, chicken stir fry. Tuesday, salmon and rice. Wednesday, a Caesar salad with some quinoa on the side. Also map out when you think your danger zones will be that week. Do you have a work party on Thursday where you think there might be alcohol? If so, how are you going to navigate that? Then know what you're going to have for dinner before you leave for work so you're not scrambling. Try and prep your lunch for the night before so you've got something to take into the office with you. And then maybe lay out the ingredients for breakfast so you can afford yourself a few more minutes in bed in the morning. Here's another tip, and this one was massive for me. Keep a I can't be bothered meal in the freezer. Life happens, right? The meeting runs late, your children need to be collected, you get stuck in traffic and you can't be bothered to cook from scratch. Have something like an M&S ready meal or a Charlie Bigham's meal or a frozen pizza even in the freezer. It doesn't matter if it's not the healthiest meal. If it prevents you from hitting the screw it button and overdoing it by a couple thousand calories, it is so worthwhile. One of my clients said it perfectly. She said, I used to think that planning was just for very disciplined and organized people. Turns out it's just for people who don't want to make decisions past 6 p.m. and that is all of us, right? So plan the food, remove the decisions, and watch your evenings get easier. And if you want help putting this advice in practice, then join the free 1 pound down challenge. We've got a full day dedicated to meal planning, preparation, spotting your danger zone. So if you found this useful, then that will be a game changer. The link is in the description. Number 3 is to eat enough protein. Think of protein like the bricks to your house. You can hire the best architect, you can have the right blueprint, but if you don't have enough bricks, then the house doesn't get built. And that's what's happening with your body when you don't eat enough protein. You want to maintain your muscle mass. You want to repair that tissue. You want to have a toned and lean look at the end of your diet, right? If that's the case, you need to give your body the raw materials to achieve that. And if you're over 40, this isn't optional. Every single decade after 30, you lose muscle mass. And less muscle mass means a slow metabolism, more risk of injury, and weaker bones. So here's what I see with a lot of women. Breakfast is something like toast or cereal. Lunch might be salad with a small bit of chicken breast. And then dinner might be rice with a few prawns or some mince. And then they wonder why they are starving come the evening, wanting to raid the biscuit tin, and why food noise is so high. Trust me, protein keeps you full, so aim for at least 100 grams each day and ensure that you've got a lean source with each and every meal. Think your 0% fat Greek yogurt, your white fish, chicken, lean steaks. If you're vegetarian, then load up on your pulses, maybe consider a protein powder supplement too. And if you are on the weight loss injections, then please know this, these don't discriminate between muscle mass and fat. Yes, you might be losing weight, you might be feeling good, but you could also be losing the tissue that keeps you fit, strong, healthy. Seriously, I've seen women lose 5 stone quickly on the injections, but they finish them feeling weak, fragile, and looking pretty gaunt, and you don't want that. Protein will prevent that muscle atrophy, so please eat it. And this leads me to number 4, which is to eat mostly whole foods. This is a simple rule that cuts through all the noise. If a food is an ingredient, eat it pretty much freely. If a food has lots of ingredients, then be a bit more mindful. Chicken breast, 1 ingredient. Chicken nuggets, less so. Potatoes, 1 ingredient. Crisps or chips, different story. Fruit, 1 ingredient. Fruit juice, again, different thing. You can see the pattern here. The more processed a food is, the less it fills you up. And the less it fills you up, the more food you need to eat. And whole foods fix this. They keep you full, they keep you satisfied, and they reduce food noise. Now, I'm not saying that you can never have a cookie again. That is not real life. In fact, eating this stuff helps your diet adherence. But just make sure that the base of your pyramid is whole foods and you're just having 10 to 20% for the more fun stuff. One of the coaches that works with my team has the rule that if your great grandmother couldn't recognize the ingredients list, you shouldn't be eating it all the time. And I think that pretty much hits the nail on the head. Point number 5 is to understand what moderation means for you. You've probably heard everything in moderation, it's all about balance 1,000 times. Sounds lovely, it's very, very sensible. But moderation is personal. For some women, having a packet of biscuits in the cupboard is absolutely fine, it's a non-issue. They can have just one with a cup of tea and forget about it. But for others, and I used to be one of these people, if there are biscuits in the house, I was demolishing the whole packet. I would think about them, I would negotiate with myself, I would tell myself just one won't hurt, and then I'd finish the whole lot. And I'd question what the hell was wrong with me, but there was nothing wrong with me. At that time, I just couldn't moderate biscuits, so I couldn't keep them in the house. But crisps or chips, on the other hand, completely different story. I could know that they're in the cupboard and not even think about them. There are some foods that you can control, but some foods control you. Now, the end goal, of course, is to just have one biscuit, and I've got a video covering that, which I'm gonna link at the end. But if that is really difficult for you at this stage, then maybe work on that once you have lost the weight. So don't remove the friction and make it really easy for yourself to overdo it. That's not going to be helpful at all. Number 6 is to walk. Move your damn feet. It burns calories without spiking your appetite. You can do it every single day and it is free. Now, there is no magic number out there. I would just encourage you to do a little bit more than you are now and build on it each week. And then break your steps into chunks so that they don't feel overwhelming. Try and do 3,000 before work, maybe 1,000 in your lunch break, 2,000 after dinner. And you will get to the point where you're so consistent with your walking that it becomes more difficult for you not to do the walk than it is just to get out and get your steps in. Get a step tracker, get a pedometer, use your phone and get moving. Point number 7 is to sleep 7 to 9 hours if you can. Now, I know that a lot of you watching this are menopausal, or maybe you've got young children or stressful jobs, so the advice just sleep more might fall on deaf ears. But please do what you can to get a good night's sleep. So yeah, don't watch an adrenaline-packed film right before bed. Try to cut off caffeine after midday. Try and wake up and go to bed at the same time each night so you don't have social jet lag. And then have a wind-down routine. I'm telling you now that if you could package up the benefits of sleep for fat loss and you could sell it in pill form, people would pay thousands for it, and yet you can do it for free every single night and it feels damn good. And point number 8 is to be consistent. Now, this is where most women get it wrong, so pay attention. They're brilliant for 2 weeks, perfect meals, they get their steps in, they feel like they are the woman. And then one bad day happens and suddenly it's, I've ruined it. I'll start Monday, next week, next month, next year. Here's what you need to accept. The women that lose weight and keep it off, it's not that they never have a slip up. It's that they don't let that slip up define their entire journey. They focus on getting straight back to it straight away, increasing the gap between slip ups and reducing how much they slip up by. So get your head around that, and then also stop just tracking your slip ups. You're so quick to judge yourself for getting it wrong, but you don't notice what's going right. So start tracking your wins. Every time you don't overeat, give yourself a pat on the back. Every time you hit your step count, you go girl. Every single time you say no to an extra serving of something that you really want but you know it doesn't align with your goals, give yourself a high five. And please, stop expecting results within 6 weeks. You didn't gain this weight in 6 weeks, you won't lose it and undo these habits in 6 weeks either. So there you have it. 8 things, nothing fancy or revolutionary, just things that work when implemented. And if you're watching this thinking, yeah, I knew all that, but I keep stopping and starting, then this video is going to help you. I break down 3 real reasons why most women quit their diets and what to do about it. Give it a watch, I'm sure it's going to help you.